Hello, welcome to my second video. We've made a channel, myself and my daughter, Callie. We've made a channel called Cubetastic, and on the channel we've done our first ever videos of doing the 3x3. This one is how to solve the 4x4 cube. It's fairly crucial that you know how to solve the 3x3 standard Rubik's Cube first before you make an attempt at the 4x4. Because some of the algorithms and the principles of the 3x3 are involved in solving the 4x4. So my advice is go back, watch our videos. My daughter's one's probably better than mine, and learn how to do the 3x3 first. And then later on we'll solve these other ones as well. Maybe we do videos for them. First thing I think it's important to mention is that I'll be doing things probably slightly different from any other videos that you see on YouTube to do with this, because I'm virtually a beginner myself and I've just sort of combined the ways of other people to make my own way, and I think it will work for those that are kind of more beginner level or average intermediate level. So I don't have any fancy YouTube skills as well, so a lot of what I've done is written down on paper. I think it would be a good idea to do a screenshot of these things or write them down yourself, because they really help me. I don't have a great memory, so I think these have worked really well. In terms of the movements of the cube, I have got the following things. So the notes here are all the different ways that I move the cube and the way that I describe them. Now, these are different from the standard ways. A lot of people use clockwise, anti-clockwise, prime. I like left and right and up and down. I think it works, or away and towards and so on. Okay, so I think that works better. So if I leave that there in terms of what we've got on the notes at the top, if we say left, that's just the left side. If left 2, then it's the 2 layers to the left. If it's right, it's just the right side. And if it's right 2, it's the right 2 layers that are moving that way. The top layer is just the very top one, and obviously the top 2, or T2, is the top 2 layers. We have the face, F for face or front, is the one that's towards you there. The one that's facing you is the face. And some of them will have ×2. That means that you'll be moving it ×2. Now, it doesn't matter which direction you move it ×2, because ultimately you'll end up where it is. So if I went this way, ×2, white's there. If I went this way, ×2, white's there. So it's up to you for ×2 what feels more comfortable. Away, I say, is up and away. So my right side, that's away. Left side, that's away. Now, other people would say clockwise and anti-clockwise. That can confuse some people because that's clockwise, but on this side, that's anti-clockwise. So I find that away and towards are easier ways of saying it, or down, sorry. So up is away and down is towards. You might find that easy, you might not. No, we've not even got into solving yet, but I think it's important to do all these things. There are, later on, when you get to a situation where it almost becomes like solving a 3x3, there are things called parities. I would just say that these are situations that sometimes happen towards the end of your solve, and I've put down the algorithms for sorting them. There's 1, 2, and 3rd in the back. You can see how technical this is. Again, I would take a screenshot of these, or I would write them down yourself, because I think if you practice them over and over again, it's definitely going to help you. All right, so I'll say if it happens and we get to the parities. Now, you could end up with none of these parities or situations, and that means you're going to do a very quick solve. You might end up with one of them, you might end up with 2 of them, or you might end up with 3 of them. And it'll just depend on luck, I think, to get to whichever stage, whichever of these parities turn up. I think that's the case anyway, but again, I'm no expert. I'll tell you once we get to that stage, but these basically are how to get out of those parities. And then when you do these, it takes you basically back a stage, so that when you start solving it as what becomes a 3x3, the bad situation or the mixed up situation doesn't happen again. All right, it will become clear. Like anything else, it will become clear later on, but I might not be able to demonstrate all of them, because it will depend on which one I end up, or which 2 or which 3 end up on here. With any luck, it might end up that I have to do all three. I'm not going to edit the video and say, right, this is it. I don't have more than one cube, so I can't set them up. We're just going to have to see what happens during this solve. And I'm only going to do it in one take because I don't have enough time to keep doing it again and again. All right, because I do have a life outside cubing. Right, that's been a long introduction. Let's get to a situation where we have a mixed up cube. So just moves in the normal way. I'm just going to mix it up, just turn it around as usual. Probably after 6 or 7 turns, it's actually well enough mixed up. I think we get to a stage where that looks pretty well mixed up. Okay, so first thing you need to do is you need to make, it's the same as the 3x3, you need to have a yellow side, or you will have a yellow side and you will have a white side. Now, unlike the 3x3, they're not automatically opposite each other, the middles, so you have to make them opposite each other. So I find it easier just to start with the white, and it's just a case of matching up bits together to make the white. So there's 2 white bits together there. I'm fortunate I've got 2 others that are there. That's just the way it went. So I've now got my white middle. All right, I need to make a yellow middle there. I've only got 1 at the moment. I've got 2 here. So I find it easier just to get them up, move them out and take it back there. Find my other yellow. Now I find sometimes it's easiest just to put the 2 together there, turn that and turn it back. And I've now got my white side and I've now got my yellow side. Yellow middle and my white middle. Now they're opposite each other. The next stage you need is the 4 middle bits around the other sides. Now they need to be in a particular order. If you don't do them in the particular order, the cube will be a mess later on. You won't notice it until later on and you think, why is that not working? And you realise you've got them in the wrong order. So the order is, it might be worth writing this down, red, blue, orange, green. Okay, so first one we're going to solve is, I just do them in that order, is going to be the red side. Again, I can find it easier if I want to put that beside that to make a block of 2, get that out of the way, and I've made my red. So now I need to make my blue. And again, if I make that, move it out of the way, bring it back, it means I've not messed up the red. I'll find the other blue. I like moving it up 1 and turning it down, and this again isn't the best and fastest way. I want to put that one there to make a 2, and I still have another 2 there, up, back, there. So I've now made my 2 bits there, not messed them up. I've now got red, blue. Oh, now I've got quite lucky here. Now if I put that here and move the orange up, that's no use because it'll mess up the other ones. So when you get to a situation where you have 2 like that, the best way to do it is to move it up, 2 spins and bring it back. And now we have our yellow and white side, and we've got red, blue, orange, green. So that's the first stage. Make your middles, then you're now at a stage where you can start to solve the edges. So you've got your middles, we're now solving the edges. You need to have your yellow side on the top, or the way I'm doing it, I have a yellow side on the top, and we're going to create edge pieces made of 2 parts. All right, so we're looking to find a yellow and green here and put it together with another yellow and green there. So here's my yellow and green. I put it up there. Now I'm going to put these slices, which they call them. If I put those 2 slices together, that makes my yellow and green side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all make sure that up here I've got one that isn't made. Okay, and I need that because I'm going to be putting those 2 sides together and then getting it up onto the top layer and then doing another 2, then do another 2. All right, so I make sure that there is one that's not made there, and that'll make sense in a minute. So I'm going to flip that round to there, make my 2 sides. I've broken the middle, so concentrate and make sure you put that back. I'm going to get that up and out, bring that down, so I've got another broken side. I've now got my side that's made there, but I have to put the middles back together. So I've created one of my edge pieces, and I have still got all my center bits. All right, now I look for the next one. I'm just going to continue to look at the left-hand top one here. I just find that easier, and then keep matching them. You could do it there and there, it doesn't really matter, but if I do it this way, I find it easy. So I've got a green and white. Here's my green and white, so I need to get it over so that it's here. Green and white, my green and white. Now I'm lucky. Sometimes it ends up that they're in the same slice, and we'll come to that in a minute. My ones are on a different slice. I've still got my middles. This one is made, so that's no use because that means I'm going to mess up something later on. So I have to make sure there's one that's not made, even though it's 2 blues. It's 2 different bits there. I put the slice over, I put it up, around, down, and then don't forget, put the middle back together. And I've now made my second piece. All right, we just keep on doing that. So here's a blue and white. I look for the blue and white, which is over here. All right, so there's my blue and white there. My blue and white is, I've lost it, is there. So again, I'll make it easy, put it over here now. Whoops, don't want to do that. There, or I could have had it and put it there and we could have done it the other way around, but I'm just going to do it here because it's there. That one's made, no use, so's that one, so's that one, so's that one actually. So to get one on the top, you can put one of the unmade ones, so here's my two blue and white ones, put one of the unmade ones from here round to the back so you don't mess anything up, stick it to the top, put it round to the side that you're going to make it. Here's my blue and white, here's an unmade edge, same again, put the slice over, up, away, back down, and then you've got that back to there. This one's already made, so I'm ignoring that. Yellow and red. Find my yellow and red, which is over here. Now we've got the situation finally. Excuse me. So if you have them on the same slice, you can't do the slice bit because then you're just moving that one out of the way. So what you need to do is you need to make it that they're opposite each other, diagonally opposite each other, so that we can then do the way that it's been sliced. So to get that one here, I pull right side down, the face to the right, the bottom to there, and then the face back to the left. All right, so that put that one and that one. Again, you can take note of that, or you can just rewind it and see what I did there. Basically, they were in line. I did that to get out of the way. I did that to put that one up there. I did that, and then I did that. All right, so that's actually quite good because it's just got it back where it was. So I'll show you again. Right side down, turn the face to the right, turn the bottom there. It's the only time I've used bottom, didn't have that on the notes. And then right side to left. So you've got those two. Same again, I've got one that's not made. I turn that to the side. I go up, round, down, make sure I put it back to the middle. And I've made another side. So they're all the sides are coming together. Yellow and blue. Yellow and blue is opposite it, so I need to make sure that they are on different slices. Again, I'm always keeping the yellow on the top. Down, to the right, and the bottom, and there, to get my two different slices, or two different levels of the same slice. That one's unmade, so it's perfect. Put it together, go up, away, or to the right, down, put it back. We're creating more and more of these edge pieces, and it's starting to get to a situation where it would become essentially a 3x3. I've got orange and yellow, here's orange and yellow, it's already in the right place. I've got one there, which is fortunate. Turn the top two layers up, there, across. Okay, I'm kind of rushing that bit now because it's the same over and over again. Here's another two, red and green, they're on the same line, so I don't need that. I want it there, there, and there. That's them on the separate parts again. Again, I'm finding it more and more difficult to find the broken edges. So I've got one down here. I can't just stick it up on the top layer because it messes everything up. So I get it all the way around to the back. Okay, up to the top there so it's not messing with anything else. Put it over to the side. And then I'm just going to do the same again. Okay, top two layers, make sure they join up. Right away or right up. Right clockwise, right towards, back to sorted. Now, all my edge pieces are made. That is lucky. For the video, it's not lucky because I don't get to show you the algorithm needed for parity number one. If you get to this stage where all the edge pieces are made, brilliant. Sometimes you'll get to a stage where you have two edge pieces left that are opposite each other. And to make them, you would need to have a broken one up here, but you don't. So if you get to a stage where you have two bits remaining, two bits, you know, the colours there and there, the colours there and there, you can't then do the same one. You'll need to then do parity number one. All right, or the situation for parity number one. So that's the situation that sometimes happens. Now, if the last two edges don't match, then put them on the top yellow side. So let's say you had two that weren't matching, you would put them here and here at the front and at the back. Okay, so you put them on the top yellow side at the front and the back. So imagine that these are not the same, but they're diagonal there and there. You put them at the front and back, and then you copy this algorithm, parity number 1. It seems quite long and complicated, but it's kind of the same thing over again. It's left 2 up, top 2, left 2 up, top 2, face 2, left 2 up, face 2, and so on. Now, I'm not going to show you it because my cube doesn't have that situation, but take a photo of that, take a screenshot, or just do it over and over again, and you'll get to a situation where it is like this. Okay? So that's parity number 1. I'm not going to go through it because I can't at the moment. So put my sheet out of the way. Now you have basically got a 3x3 cube. You have got middles, as you normally would. You've got the edges, which are basically just the single. I wish I had my normal cube. I've got all the other puzzles. You've got the middle piece, just count that as one piece, and you've got your corners. So I'm going to solve this now. This is where you would do it as a 3x3. I do this not in the best way, just because I'm a beginner. I put the bits together on the top, so I just get all the white side to a situation, again, not mixing anything up. You're just treating these as single edges, so I've just put it to a situation where I have this. I'm fortunate that they all are all matched up, and then I do it to make my white cross to get it in. Now, like I say, I'm not going over that in much detail because you've basically made your white cross from your 3x3. So just keep treating this as a 3x3. The corners, you could be doing your F2L if you're a bit more experienced, but if you're doing it the simple way, like me, I just put my corners in. So red and green, same as you would with a 3x3, put in the red, green, and do that to get it in place. The red and blue, as you would, to put that in place. Again, I'm rushing through it because you should know how to do the 3x3. Orange and blue, put that in place. Orange and green, put that in place. Bottom layer done. You've still got what is really a 3x3 cube. I then solve the way that I would with the other one, with the 3x3. I match up the blue. I've got the orange, so I always turn it away from there. And then I do that to put the orange and blue in the right place, as I would with a 3x3. I'm not going to go over that. Watch the 3x3 video. I keep repeating myself. Green to there, turn away from orange. That's the next side. I've got obviously a situation here. Turn it away from the left side. Do this as any way you want. I've got the situation where I've got yellows on top, so I need to get this one out. Corner in. Oops. Turn away from there. We should have all the sides done. You've got 3 layers done. Technically, if you're again relating it back to the normal Rubik's Cube or 3x3, that's really your top, your bottom and second layer. Okay, count that as 1 layer, then that's what you've got. Now you've got to make the yellow cross. Now we do have a situation here where we have the parity. If you're trying to do it quickly, you're hoping to have one side or 3, no you don't actually, I've got no parity this time either. I've actually got basically the one yellow strip across the middle as you would with the normal Rubik's Cube. The parity that can happen is that you might have a 1 side made or 3 sides made, or one of the parts of the yellow cross made, or 3 of the parts of the yellow cross made. If you've got that, that's not good, and you need to get to a situation where you can make the yellow cross. All right, so that would be parity number 2. Again, because I don't have it, I'm not going to be able to show it. So if you have a situation where you have one part of the yellow cross or 3 parts of the yellow cross, then you need to do this one here. All right, again, take a screenshot, write it down, whatever you wish to do. You put the flipped side to the front, so let's imagine that, and that were all yellow. You would put this side to the front, because that's the flip side. The same goes if you had one, say that one was made and none of the others were, then you would put the opposite one. So the flipped one would be towards you. And then you follow this algorithm here. Again, it's a very long one, longer than some other algorithms that you use, but it is fairly straightforward, again, because it's right 2 up, top 2, and you turn the whole cube. So that one where it says turn whole cube up, it just means you turn the whole cube up that way when you're doing this algorithm. All right, I could do it, but I won't, because I will then get to a situation where I've probably messed it up and the video will take even longer than it already is. So if you've got 1 or 3 yellow sides made of your yellow cross, do this algorithm. If not, you're lucky and you'll be able to carry on. So basically, like the 3x3, you have the straight line across, so you just solve it as you would if you had the line across in the 3x3. So for me, that's just the face up and then there. So now you have your yellow cross. One layer there, just a yellow cross. Still got your 3 layers, still ready to go. Now you have a situation where you would do your making the edges all match the middle. So for me, the way I do that is to have it on the front and, on the right and back, and then do the algorithm. It's probably my favorite one, which you would do normally. Again, I'm not going to take you through that. You could do it on the 3x3 video. So, and that means I've now got my edge pieces here all together. I'm now at the stage where I've just got to get the corners in place. So again, this is when you need to do what you normally do to get the corners in place before you then turn the cube upside down, if that's the method you use. So I have one in place and no others in place. So I put my front right for the one that is in place, and I do that algorithm there that you probably know. That's still in place, and that's still in place. This has been the luckiest solve I've ever done because I haven't had any of the 3 parities, which is unheard of. If I had done this, I probably would have got my new record. Now my times aren't that quick. I can do it just over 3 minutes. If I'd been doing this one at high speed, the way it's worked out, I would have probably got close to my record. So if you get to a situation where no matter how many times you do that last algorithm, you still don't have ones that match. So it would always work on a 3x3, but if you have a situation where you end up with ones that don't match in the corners, you have to do the third of the rules for, it's a third parity basically, or third situation. So on my handy little sheet, it's here. Okay, now this one there's an easier way to do it. I find it doing it this way. It involves something where you're moving 2 layers and then 1 layer. Basically what you're doing in that case is just moving this layer. Okay, so it's got right 2 times 2, right 2. You could, if you're able to do the finger tricks, I've got really sort of bendy fingers and so on, you're basically just turning that one 2. But to turn that one 2, I find it easier just to go 1, 2, and then put that one back. Okay, that's basically what you're doing when it says all this. All right, so it would be that, and then follow the rest of it and so on. If that makes sense, I hope it makes sense. It's just a way of getting this layer turned 2. I just find it easier. All right, so that's the algorithm. I'll hold that there. You can take a photo of that, or you can take a screenshot. You can do whatever. You can write it down yourself. All right. I'm just going to very quickly make sure that you're able to see the other ones, because if you are taking a photo of it and it's not all on the screen, then it's going to be useless. So there's parity 1 for you to take a photo or to write down. Oops. And there's the second one. Okay. And if there's any problems, you can write in the comments. I've hardly had any comments before. So I've got to a situation where I have my cube as it would be, and you're just at that point as it would be with a 3x3 where you turn it upside down and you fix those bottom bits. Again, there's much quicker ways to do this if you're a professional, but for me, it's just get it to this stage. You know that you've got the ones upside down here that you just need to do that to get into position. Turn your bottom layer. Oops, sorry. And then you have a finished 4x4. So that's it. I won't do another one of these because they take quite a long time, but that's our finished 4x4. You have to do some new stuff to get it into a situation where it almost becomes a 3x3. When solving a 3x3, you'll usually come across one of the parities, as they call them, or one of the three situations. You solve the situation. If you do solve the situation, it basically then goes back a stage. If I do one of the parities, it's not going to fix the cube, it just puts it back a stage to when, if you did it again, it would work. I hope that makes sense. If you do have a problem with the third parity when it's just a couple of corners, once you've done it, you'll end up being right back a stage where you've got to then put the edges in the right place. So it just takes longer, basically. And if you watch the professionals do, they can see it happening, but they just go do, and it's done. All right, so I hope that's made sense. Give the 3x3 video a watch for either my one. They're both down under my name, but if it's my daughter's voice, then that might be even better to do. Some people have done that and managed their first cube in under half an hour. You could make a comment on the videos because we're new to this and it's really exciting to be a YouTuber. And we hope you managed to do a 4x4. And again, we'll do some of these at another time. See you later.